Good morning, boys and girls. We're back for our fourth read aloud on our Dragon Master Rise of the Earth Dragon. Today we're going to be reading chapter 4 called Worm. We've met 2 dragons so far. I gotta say, Kempri's kind of my favorite just because of all the yellow going on, but we're going to see what Worm's all about. So here we go. I have my Kindle. We're going to be tracking the print to help us read, circling words we don't know, and underlining key ideas. Here we go. Worm, Chapter 4. Drake peered inside the dark cave. A dragon sat inside. Well, this creature kind of looks like a dragon, Drake thought. The dragon had brown scales that weren't shiny. He had 2 tiny wings. He had big green eyes and little ears, and he didn't have any legs. He looked like a big snake. The only dragon-like thing about him seemed to be his long snout. Drake stepped up to the wood bars. "Hi, dragon. I'm Drake." The dragon didn't move. "Put on the stone," Griffith said. Drake slipped the green stone around his neck. He felt a tingling feeling all over his body. Right away, the dragon lifted his head. He stared at Drake with big green eyes. Drake felt a strange chill. Griffith stepped forward. "You must name your dragon," he said. Rory piped up. "Good luck naming him. He looks boring." "How about Noodlehead?" Anna asked with a giggle. Bo shook his head. "No, this dragon needs a good name." Drake looked carefully at the dragon. He looked at his long brown body. "Worm," he said. "His name is Worm." "That's a good name for an earth dragon," said Griffith, opening the gate. "Now, Drake, ask Worm to follow you." "Okay," Drake said. "Worm, please follow me." Worm crawled forward. "Good luck," said the wizard. "Keep it up, Drake." "Come on, Drake," Worm said, starting to walk down the hallway. Worm crawled after him. "He really is like a big, ugly worm," Rory said. "Rory, be nice," said Anna. Drake didn't say anything. Worm was like a big worm. Where are we going?" he asked. "To the training room," Griffith replied. "Yeah," said Rory. "We'll see what you and your dragon are made of." Drake felt nervous. He touched his dragon stone. "How am I supposed to train a dragon?" he thought. "What if I fail? What if I'm not a dragon master after all?" The end. He's full of uncertainties and doesn't know whether he's up to the task. Well, our first vocabulary word is snout, and it was towards the beginning of our chapter when they were describing what Worm looked like. And if you go back to I'm doing this one-handed today. The first page, page 19, right there, you will see on the last sentence, it tells you that the only dragon-like thing about him seemed to be his long snout. If you think about a dragon and look at the picture above, I think you can figure out what a snout is. Then it goes on to cause and effect. We've been talking about cause and effect this week in our stories. You read a story of Willy Whistle, and then I believe today you're going to be reading the story of how to build a snowman. Boys and girls, cause is the why, and effect is the result of that why. So, the effect says, they don't give us the cause, but they give us the effect. The effect says, Drake felt a tingling feeling all over his body. What caused Drake to feel that tingling feeling? I remember reading about it. So if you go back in your story, it's going to be on page, hold on, sorry. Kindle's not cooperating right now. On page 20, you can underline where you find the cause of Drake feeling that tingling all over his body. So making an inference is when we don't have the answer right in front of us and we have to I'm sure everybody's saying it at home, infer means we have to think about what we think the answer is going to be. And the question is, why do you think Drake decided to name his dragon Worm? Well, I can tell you that I remember about reading about a worm in chapter 1, and he was very familiar with worms. Maybe that's why. Why do you think he named him Worm? There is no right or wrong answer. It's what you think or feel using your best guess based on what you've already read. Now, when you go back, the next question asks you to describe Worm. Well, they gave us a pretty good description of Worm down in the story. So go back to your chapter and see what described Worm. Boys and girls, please use a complete sentence when answering these questions. And last is, which of the following quotes best describes why Drake felt nervous? Towards the end of the story, Drake started to feel nervous. Which quote best describes why Drake was nervous? Boys and girls, I hope you've enjoyed this read aloud. Next week, we'll be reading the chapters 5 and 6. Maybe we'll squeeze in 7 as well. I hope you enjoyed it. See you later.